walking. You should proceed with caution. You could get cut off for free, that's a walk-in. Don't need your offering. Come in my office, speaking to me as a fee. I'm an impress. He might be hotter than y'all, but I'm heat to a different degree. Don't believe, come and see. Fuga. When it open, it go right through you. Give me an inch and I'll show you a roller. When you see me, freeze, Medusa, you can get skilled. I'll be the best, I mean nobody better. You best in your era, I'm best in wherever, whenever, forever. I sit at the top. Even when you giving all that you got, all that I'm giving to you is a box. That mean that you better chill. Popping out when I'm breaking the seal. No Shibuya, you can't level the field. Gassed up like he empty till he gotta face the greatest in history. Know that Betty may have faith in ability. Only way that's gonna play is my victory, and that's a split decision. Cut him deep, that's a big incision. If I target with elite precision, you call him great at his peak position. If this competition was shame.
What is up, guys? Dashing here, and live we are for episode 117 of Octane, this go-home edition, my friends, before this weekend's Climb to Fame event. That is going to go down tomorrow night, and you do not want to miss it. But of course, we have a great show. Ralph cameo already, straight out the gate. A great show right here this evening. And we are kicking things off with our first of a couple of debuts throughout the show as Max Cutter continues his vendetta, waging war against the newcomers here on Octane. He's getting ready to take on the debuting Marcus Mack right here to start the show, my friends. Max Cutter taking the call on him to count out King. As so far this season, he's won 2 matches by countout, including last week defeating Alex Young in that Anarchy Rules match, which for some reason the referee counted out Alex Young, but I won't get into that any further. You know, I cornered that referee after last week's show, and I said, "What the hell were you thinking?" And he said that apparently Max Cutter had approached him earlier in the show and maybe slipped him a few bucks to do him a favor. Now, you'd think I'd fire that referee, but considering almost every single referee here in CMV is corrupt, what are you going to do about it? Like I said, we need Amelia Jones back. Get her in the referee shirt, all right? Forget about the Killjoy Club. I'm willing to offer Amelia Jones a substantial pay raise if she puts the ref shirt back on. And there's the man Max Cutter takes on tonight, Marcus Mack, who interfered in that Anarchy Rules match last week, attacked Max Cutter as he was taking on Alex Young. Marcus Mack perhaps preemptively going after Max Cutter before Max Cutter was bound to come after him, because again, Max Cutter has taken issue with every new name here on the Octane roster, say they don't deserve to be here and that they're taking up time he deserves. He and his allies like Brody Anderson, I should say. Brody Sampson, that's a throwback. Where are my Brody Sampson heads at? Marcus Mack, though, is here in CMV to further build his empire and is not looking to allow someone like Max Cutter to stand in his way. But guys, as we talk about Max Cutter and his fight against these rookies, although, you know, as I say rookies, Alex Young, I think, made a very good point last week where he said, you know, a lot of us are new to CMV, yeah, but we've been around the world. We've put years into this. We're not necessarily rookies. Maybe here in CMV we're newcomers, but, you know, someone like Marcus Mack, he's been around the world. He's been fighting. He might be new to CMV, yeah, but he ain't new to the game. But as I was saying, you know, I got a little proposition for Max Cutter. I've decided that next week, right here on Octane, episode 118, if Max Cutter really wants to take it to all these rookies so bad, I'm giving him the opportunity, because I'm going to be putting Max Cutter in a gauntlet match against every single newcomer on the Octane roster. And here's the deal. If Max Cutter can beat 3 of his opponents in the gauntlet match, I'll give him a 0G championship match. If he can beat 5 of his opponents, I will give him a pure championship match. If Max Cutter can beat all 10 of his opponents somehow in that gauntlet match, I will give him a shot at the Global Championship, and nobody could say he wouldn't deserve it. So that's my proposition to Max Cutter. You really hate these rookies? You really want a championship so bad? There you go. I'm laying it out for you. We'll see what Max Cutter has to say at the end of this matchup. There's a great counter, though, by the Violent One. Well, let's just hope we don't get another match ending by count out as it goes out of the apron. This didn't end so well for Marcus Mack there just a moment ago, and it doesn't go much better for Max Cutter. Oh, what a show we have in store, my friends. Just 24 hours before we head to Toronto, Ontario for our first special event of the new season, Climb to Fame. Our main event, an all-star trios match. Aaron Stone, Bob Luger, and Jeremy Barmore taking on Ahmed, Chris Andrews, and global champion John Reed. Here we go. Modified crossface by Marcus Mack, the chosen one, he calls himself. You ain't have Max Cutter caught right here. Oh, he's going to release the hold as Cutter refuses to tap out. And instead going to go to the outside. Now, this is not a Anarchy Rules match, so I'm not too sure what Mack is thinking. Now he's going to go to the top rope. And as I said, not our only debut here tonight. A little bit later on, Jeremiah Carter, guys, who you might remember from Season 2 of the Reality of Wrestling, makes his debut right here tonight. Damn, Marcus Mack off the top like a cannonball just shot himself at Max Cutter and might have the match won here. No, just a 2 count. Where Marcus Mack is now. He goes off the middle rope looking for maybe a leg drop. Didn't have that particularly well lined up though. Chops the chest pass also here tonight. Very much looking forward to this. Finally, Silas Blackwell and Corvo Jack meet one-on-one. After weeks of beating the hell out of each other, they've both been cleared. And they meet one-on-one right here tonight. Serious implications as it pertains to who's next in line for a shot at the Pure Championship. That's for sure. These two going back and forth, man, lighting each other up with these knife-edge chops. My word. Max Cutter might be a bit more protected since he's wearing that shirt, but now they're just going for it. Now they're just beating the hell out of each other. And Marcus Mack will be one of Max Cutter's opponents in next week's Gauntlet match if Max Cutter agrees to my terms. Oh, back into the modified crossface here after busting Cutter up. Oh, but a rope break. You got to be kidding. I suppose good call by the ref. And now out of the corner, like a shotgun blast to the back of the head. That might do Max Cutter in. 1, 2. Oh, man. Marcus Mack, but a millisecond away right there from securing a win in his debut. And you know the rest of the rookies got to be in the back right now. Wait a minute, Max Cutter looking for that dragon sleeper, but a rope break for Marcus Mack. I guess what goes around comes around. Fair play. That's now Cutter from the corner. Oh, no. Looking to kick Marcus Mack right out of CMV. Directly to the temple. Max Cutter, the killer. And into the pin. 1, 2. Kick out though, maybe just those precious couple of seconds Max Cutter utilized to drag Mack away from the ropes there. It might be what allowed Mack to kick out. Like I said, probably all the rest of the rookies, the likes of Alex Young, of CJ Eddie, watching this from the back right now, has got to be cheering Mack on. As Cutter gets slammed into the corner now, kicked to the midsection. The chosen one looking to further build his empire here in CMV. Beautiful leg drop. Off the ropes, Cutter looks like he's hurting for certain right about now. Picking himself up in the corner, but Mack's right on him. Tries for a kick, nicely countered though by the Violent One. Nice elbow to the side of the head there by Marcus Mack. Gonna come out of the corner, who's quicker? Mack with those kicks to the leg. Oh no, now a pile driver by Max Cutter into the pin. 1, 2. How was that not a 3 count? 2.999. I would have thought for damn sure this match is over right there. But Marcus Mack showing some serious resolve here in his debut. And definitely not going down without a fight. Look at this now, full steam ahead. Oh my goodness. Hell of a kick. Max Cutter looks like he doesn't know what day it is after that. Mack now up to the top. The lowdown gonna give it to you here into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Marcus Mack has done it. Max Cutter at last paying for his trash talk, his actions over these last few weeks. But, oh, hang on a second, guys. I don't think that Marcus Mack is finished just yet with Max Cutter. A ladder has been brought out from underneath the ring, and the Chosen One gonna ram it directly at Max Cutter's face. Well, you can't say that Max Cutter didn't deserve that. But what a debut victory for Marcus Mack here. And, well, when Max Cutter regains consciousness, I guess we'll see whether or not he accepts my offer for that gauntlet match next week on Octane. If he wakes up. And from one debut to another here, my friends, as we just saw Marcus Mack quite successful his arrival here on Octane. We'll see if that's the same for Jeremiah Carter as he gets ready to meet this man, Ben Stacy, one-on-one. Jeremiah Carter, who many might remember from Season 2 of the Reality of Wrestling, obviously didn't go on to win it. That was Cassidy Vance, the best friend of his significant other, though, Giovanna, who also scheduled for action here tonight. And as Ben Stacy has Ileana Summers in his corner, we might see Giovanna in the corner of Carter here. But indeed, later on tonight, it's going to be Cassidy Vance and Giovanna taking on Fig and Brina Story in tag team action. Ben Stacy, who fell out of the semifinals of the Global Championship Tournament, a loss to the Bloody Brick Chris Andrews. Ben Stacy shared with us on What's the 411 CMV a couple of weeks ago his goals for this season is to build a legacy for himself. And that starts by becoming world champion. He might have unfortunately not been able to make it to the finals in the Global Championship Tournament, but that doesn't mean Ben Stacy's stopping. And he's definitely not looking to be the stepping stone for Jeremiah Carter here tonight to arrive in CMV. Ileana Summers, who we saw take part in a trios match last night on Shockwave in losing effort to the main character Energy. And it seems like everybody is blaming everyone else. Ileana Summers, Thea, and B. Barrett. B. Barrett especially kind of got up on her soapbox, as they say. Not directly pointing fingers, but indirectly so. Putting most of the blame on Ileana Summers and Thea for their loss last night. But, well, we'll maybe say if Thea can get her first win, she's in action later on tonight, one-on-one matchup. Ben Stacy pacing back and forth. He's ready for this. Is he truly, though? Because he's taking on big Jeremiah Carter. And yes, Giovanna Vance will be accompanying her significant other. These two, of course, met during Season 2 of the Reality of Wrestling. Became very close. And it was actually Giovanna's father who helped Jeremiah Carter to get signed to CMV. And now we'll see if that was worth it. Ben Stacy, Jeremiah Carter, one-on-one here with Ileana Summers and Giovanna Vance at ringside, cheering on their respective fellas. They stomp the bicep. And even though Ben Stacy obviously not going to have very much of a strength advantage here, Jeremiah Carter not only taller than him, but weighing more than him as well. Might even have like 100 pounds on Ben Stacy. I'm not too sure exactly what Ben Stacy was thinking was going to happen there, but maybe he was targeting Chris Benoit's ghost. I digress. Look at the size of this man, Jeremiah Carter, former football player. Saw a lot from this young kid during season 2 of the Reality of Wrestling. A lot to be impressed with. And he didn't give up even after being eliminated. Continued to hustle, and that impressed Giovanna's father enough. Now maybe that might rub some folks in the locker room the wrong way. I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. Kind of a little bit of nepotism perhaps, or at least nepotism by proxy. Lifting reverse DDT though by this tank of a man. Looks like Ileana Summers has slid a steel chair into the ring, which our referee, perhaps our only good referee here in CMV, promptly going to remove it. Hey, he played with a ball, all right? I wasn't too far off. Basketball, football, it's all the same to me. All right, he picked up a ball and he ran with it. A little bit different here in CMV. As we get a big elbow drop across the chest. Jeremiah Carter certainly putting his power to good use early on here against Ben Stacy. Like I said, though, Stacy's not fixing to be a launching pad for Jeremiah Carter here. There's that strength yet again, though, put on display. Military press and just walking around with him like it's nothing. As now he goes up to breaststroke. Big splash. And this kid's got to be 300 plus pounds at least. Into the pin, but only a 1 count. And then Ileana Summers and Giovanna Vance watching from ringside. Ileana Summers has already attempted to get involved to help her significant other here. Whereas Ben Stacy and Ileana Summers been a little bit more secretive about their exact relationship. Giovanna Vance and Jeremiah Carter definitely more open. And then Giovanna set for action a little bit later on. Tag team match. Look at this ref, man. He's keeping his eyes on Ileana Summers. As soon as she took off the top turnbuckle cover there, he went right over and fixed it. He should eject her. Don't tell her I said that. And moonsault by Ben Stacy. What he wants to do here is keep Jeremiah Carter grounded. Not a bad strategy going against a much larger opponent. Out on the apron right now, though, not where he wants to be. And nicely done by Ben Stacy. Well, it looks like Carter might have tweaked his knee as well on the landing there. And you know, someone like Ben Stacy's going to see that. Trained, of course, by the legendary Jay Young. Classic ref, just going to stand right in front of the camera. Oh, look at this, Giovanna Vance now coming to the aid of Carter, distracting Ben Stacy here. And that's going to allow Carter to get into the ring, creep up from behind, German suplex. Referee should get both of these ladies out of here. Big clothesline, and again into the pin by Carter. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. Uh-oh, Jeremiah now lining up Ben Stacy. I got a feeling this is going to be real nasty. Holy cow. Sit out powerbomb in. You see the height he got on that. But Stacy, barely, but he does kick out. So the entire ring shake, man. The entire arena here. Pulls him up into a power slam. Stacy with a quick breather, but not tucking tail. Back into the fight. Irish whip, and on the rebound, back elbow. Right into the pin. Ben Stacy, no wasted motion here as he tries to end Carter. But only a 2 count. Carter trying to get to his... Ooh, look at this speed of the big man, able to roll out of the way like that. And again, Ben Stacy, he's got to get his eyes checked. A trip to the eye doctor, because he has not been too successful with these high-risk maneuvers. Completely missing his shots. Now it looks like Jeremiah Carter calling Ben Stacy to stand and bang with him. Knife edge chop by Carter. Responds in kind. Carter getting a little bit cheeky as he eggs on Ben Stacy. Oh, now Carter What a knee! Ben Stacy just got blasted into another dimension right there. My word. And now pulled up into a spine buster splat. Goes Ben Stacy on the mat. 1, 2. Kick out though. By the British Angel, but barely. Carter getting a little bit exhausted here. A little bit frustrated in his debut. Last thing he wants to do is let down Giovanna's father, who got him his CMV contract by taking an L on his debut. Might be looking for another powerbomb. Oh, I think he got Ben Stacy up even higher this time. No shot. Oh, but look at this. Well, Jeremiah Carter is a fool to fall for this. He has the match won, but Ileana Summers distracting the big man from ringside. I can't hear what they're saying. But this is obviously giving Ben Stacy all the time in the world to recover. Carter now, oh, gouging the eyes. But Carter fires back with a big forearm. A rookie mistake just cost perhaps Jeremiah Carter this match. And especially against someone as dangerous as Ben Stacy, man, you can't afford to play around. Carter trying to keep on top of things here, trying to stay in control, yeeting Ben Stacy up into an alley-oop. Very impressive from Jeremiah Carter. Follows up with an elbow across the chest, but a quick kick is all Ben Stacy needs to get himself that opening Meteora. Now Stacy knows he's hurting after those power bombs, man. Saved by the grace of Ileana Summers a few moments ago. And Summers has unsheathed that top turnbuckle again as Stacy trips up Carter. Vintage! Half Nelson suplex dropping Carter on his big head. 1, 2! Kick out though by Carter. I said it at the start of the match, man. The ref should eject both Summers and Giovanna. Uh-oh. The Kraken's clutch. Ref, turn around. Ref, turn around. Oh, my God. Well, Carter gets out of it anyhow. Tries to throw out a hellacious clothesline. Man, counter for counter here between these two. What a banger. Despite the interferences by both Summers and Vince throughout the matchup, this has been a hell of a bout. Ben Stacy talking down to Jeremiah Carter, literally and figuratively, as he points his finger. Oh, look at the Greco-Roman throat hold here at ringside. Expertly applied by young Ben Stacy, who throws Carter down onto the floor now. You see Ben Stacy quite exhausted, man. Shoulders slumped, moving a lot slower as he tries to drag this big man back into the ring, and he does. Count of 6. Carter trying to get to his feet. Stacy, though, from behind, spins him around for a big forearm to the jaw. And Ben Stacy's not been so lucky with his high-flying antics so far, but nailed that. Senton and into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's enough. Ben Stacy secures the dub against Jeremiah Carter, guys. And the sad fact is, Carter had this match won after hitting that second powerbomb, but he got distracted by Ileana Summers. And instead of celebrating a win here tonight with his best gal, he eats a harsh L at the hands of the British Angel. There was the first powerbomb that almost won Carter this matchup. Stacy able to survive. Look at this spine buster. I thought it was over after this. But no such luck for the big man. And here's the second powerbomb, guys. Jeremiah would have had the match won, I'll tell you. But instead he got distracted by Ileana. And that allowed Ben Stacy to mount a comeback. And after a springboard senton, collect himself a nice win here tonight to get back on track. Well, the night's not over for Giovanna Vance. She's got tag team action later on. But at least for now, she's got to tend to her man, who's going to have a wounded ego for sure after a debut loss like this. This is just a dangerous duo right here, man. And we saw that exemplified in that match. Well, as I said, my friends, after last night's trios match on Shockwave, the losing team, I mean, Ileana Summers, Thea, and B. Barrett sort of started to point fingers at one another, blaming each other for the loss, and well, B. Barrett especially not appreciative of how her teammates let her down last night, but Thea, guys, is at her wit's end. Ever since arriving here at the start of the season, she's been unable to collect a victory so far. Maybe that changes here tonight, though, as she takes on another debuting superstar in our women's division, Anita Victory. But I found out earlier tonight, guys, that Thea was not going to be alone as she came down to the ring for this matchup. The French woman I saw conversing with that woman right there behind her, Dallas Cole. In the last 24 hours, Thea and Dallas Cole have evidently struck up a bit of a friendship and partnership. Dallas Cole, who of course tomorrow night at Climb to Fame competes in the Rising Star ladder match, just saw her pick up a win last night on Shockwave in a fatal four-way matchup. Maybe Thea learned a thing or two from Dallas Cole, who so far this season has been racking up nothing but dubs. So Dallas Cole going to be in Thea's corner here. Is this maybe what Thea needs to at last turn the tide? You know what they say, when you're desperate, you can become dangerous. I think that very well may be the case for Thea here. She's looking, I can see it in her eyes. Starting to feel a little bit bad for Anita over there. So here we go, Anita Victory and Thea one-on-one with Dallas Cole watching from ringside. What wisdom has Cole perhaps whispered in the ears of Thea over the last 24 hours, as Thea right into a big bear hug, which Victory is struggling to escape from, but she does. Ultimately with a clap to the temples. Knife edge chop though. Let's try to go low. Double axe, they're going to back Victory into the corner. No relation, as far as I know, with Kai Victory, who will take part in the Climb to Fame contract ladder match tomorrow night at Climb to Fame. That's if he's clear to compete after what Xander Slate did to him last night. By the way, still no update on the condition of Alice Blake or Leon Valente for that matter. Alice Blake is supposed to be in a handicap match later on tonight, but as far as I know, I didn't see her arrive at the arena here tonight. So Sarah Miller, it might be looking like she's set to go 1-on-3 against the Undisputed Elite, with Celestia, of course, currently out after an attack by the Undisputed Elite. He is, I'll tell you what, just opening moments of this matchup, she's looking good. Up to Bretro. Damn, that was like a headbutt to the side of Anita's head. I don't know if that's exactly what Thea was looking for there, but I gotta take a hold of the arm. It's been so-so for debutees here tonight. We saw Marcus Mack victorious against Max Cutter, but then we just saw Jeremiah Carter take an L at the hands of Ben Stacy, so we'll see how Victory does here. That's up on the top rope, stalking Thea, big double axe handle. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, but effective as she goes for the pin. One, and a 1 count. Rolling neck snap there by Victory, who has certainly taken control after a hot start by Thea. Now we listen to a half crab. Dallas Cole at ringside barking advice to Thea. You're like a corner man in the UFC. It's tossed. There's the power of Thea. A lot of power packed into a small package. Hooks the leg in search of her first win. Now she's going to go after the leg of Victory here. Twisting, yanking, stretching that left leg. Stomp to the arm now as Dallas Cole continues to offer her support. Oh, look at the muscles. Look at the 18-inch pythons, brother. Stomp to the back. Thea's moving a little bit more aggressively, too, in this matchup. Irish whip going to send her off the ropes. Drop down. Leapfrog. And there's that Superwoman punch. I think that might be the first time she's actually hit it. 1, 2. Oh, man. So close. I'm sure she could almost taste it. Anita says, get me the hell out of here, and I don't blame her. Getting her jaw jacked with that big old punch. Lifting her up to her feet. Things not looking good for Victory here. Thea not allowing her to go anywhere. Throws her back into the ring. Look at Dallas Cole watching intently from ringside. Big splash, but Victory gets out of the way. Now going to try to quickly take advantage. Back into another submission. This time a figure 4 head scissors, but Thea gets out of it with the quickness. Tries for a little shot to the gut. Oh boy, look at this. And Anita's not a small gal, man. Military press-ups. Unreal strength. 1, 2. Closer and closer. Dallas Cole's getting a bit frustrated as well. Thea just got to stay focused here, though. I can feel it. I can feel it. Going for the cutter. Trying for the cutter. Oh, man. Thea tried to catch her out of the air, but got nailed with that back elbow. Cartwheel back elbow. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Very quick thinking by Anita here. She watches Thea get to her feet. The French woman has been so impressive in this matchup, man, but it might be starting to go down the drain. As Anita stalks Thea, peeping her from behind here. Grabs her into a sort of kill switch, but nice reversal by Thea. Shoved her off. Very, very nicely done by Thea, who now hoops her up for a running power slam. There's Thea going now very intently up to Brett's rope. Stalking Victor. That's quite a distance. Oh, but there's that headbutt again, which I think once more she does not fully connect with, but it might be enough. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Thea has done it. Thea at last tastes victory here in CMV. I might be saying that wrong considering her opponent is named Victory. Gets her first win. And it's got to feel so good. Well, perhaps Coach Dallas Cole over there, whatever she's been spitting these last 24 hours, was some good advice indeed. And Thea tried to end it right here. Looking for that jumping cutter of hers. That was a beautiful cartwheel back elbow by Victory, though. I thought it might have been done and dusted right there. And Thea with a headbutt directly to the face from off the second rope gets her the win. You can't help but to feel happy for Thea. Victory at last! Maybe I need to get some coaching tips from Dallas Cole. Well, guys, as I said earlier, what was originally supposed to be a trios match got turned into a handicap match, and, well, it's still technically a handicap match, but is now a 1-on-3 handicap match because last week we saw Celestia jumped by the Undisputed Elite with Sarah Miller and Women's World Champion Alice Blake nowhere to be found. Now, Alice Blake says that they were busy preparing for Sarah Miller's matchup. They didn't see the attack happen. There was no monitor in the locker room. Whether you want to believe that or not, I'll leave it up to you. But, well, then we saw last night on Shockwave, guys, Alice Blake seemingly attacked by Xander Slate. Yes, you are hearing me correctly here. This is no fib. If you missed Shockwave, Xander Slate dragged an unconscious Alice Blake out onto the stage and threw her down onto the ramp before attacking Kai Victory as well, and seemingly Leon Valente too. Nobody's safe from Xander Slate, it appears, but, well, now Alice Blake out as well. So Sarah Miller is going to have to go it alone. 1-on-3 against the Undisputed Elite. And the Undisputed Elite had better be ready to write a thank you note to Xander Slate for making their job even easier here tonight. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, especially when it's Sarah Miller we're talking about, but obviously the odds are not in the favor of the Pixie. Tori Doyle suplex and Ruby Rebel, who have been a persistent thorn in the side of the women's tag team champions since the end of last season. A couple weeks ago, we saw the Undisputed Elite unsuccessful challenging Celestia and Alice Blake for the Women's Tag Team Championship. They got to be licking their lips, man, like a pack of hyenas. Honing in on the kill here. The impossible has been done before in CMV, though. Like I said, Sarah Miller shouldn't be necessarily counted out just yet. You got to applaud Miller for even going ahead with this matchup. I think it would have been completely fair if she said, maybe next time. Well, Miller not going to allow the Undisputed Elite to get away quite so easily as we get a nice springboard moonsault from Ruby Rebel nice and early on. Sarah Miller, too. Let's not forget last week here on Octane suffered her very first one-on-one loss. Alice Blake screamed at me a couple of days ago after I made this error, because, of course, Alice Blake did pin and eliminate Sarah Miller from that triple threat match at Final Stand, but her first ever singles loss last week here on Octane to Cassidy Vance, so Miller's also dealing with that. Her momentum got to be all jacked up right now. What a hell of a way to get back on track, though. If she could actually get the win here, as impossible as it may seem. Not off to a great start. Ruby Rebel all over her here. Double boot stop now to the gut as she hoists Miller up to her feet. Nobody for Miller to rely on. Alice Blake out. Celestia out. Ruby Rebel marking out to herself a little bit. Love to see it as now she goes to make the tag. The suplex. Big, powerful, nasty is suplex. But there's a nice Elbow to the side of the head as Miller tries to come out of the corner with a Hurricanrana. So to come here tonight, guys, Silas Blackwell and Corvo Jack finally meet one-on-one. Also in our main event, all-star trios match. As Aaron Stone, Bob Luger, and Jeremy Barmore take on Ahmed the Bloody Brick and global champion John Reed, of course, just 24 hours before. Aaron Stone, Chris Andrews, and John Reed meet in that triple threat ladder match for the global championship at Climb to Fame. Japanese arm drag by Ruby Rebel. Speaking of Japanese, next month, CMV back in Tokyo, Japan, guys, the 8th annual Tag Team Cup. And of course, for the first time ever, it's going to be a 2-night event, and on night 2, will be in the inaugural Women's Tag Team Cup. And you know for sure, Undisputed Elite are going to be a part of that. So far, we know main character Energy, Noah and Blake have declared themselves for the Tag Team Cup. Miller right now handling her business against all 3 members of the Undisputed Elite, knocking Tori Doyle down to the outside. It's Ruby Rebel who's legal here. And Miller's not going to go down without a fight. There she goes down and all elbows to the side of the head. Right in the corner, and a cheap shot from Suplex. Come on, I think you don't already have enough of an advantage here. 3-on-1, you're going to take cheap shots like that too? Tie up the legs of Ruby Rebel to deliver some cloverleaf pain. The Pixie Powerhouse not going to let Rebel roll away. So, where do you think you're going? Might be time for a Pixie Plex. Did I say it or not? Don't count out Sarah Miller. 1, 2, but Suplex breaks up the pin, and there's the handicap scenario coming into play. Nobody for Sarah Miller to rely on. Nobody to help her out. Irish whip off the rope she goes. Behind for a snap. Dragon suplex, and now I'll be thinking about going up to the top. Brett's rope. Sarah Miller stalking. Ruby Rebel from up high. Trying to knock it back. Rebel take it down. Not gonna let her make the tag there. Quick pin by Miller. 1. If Miller actually manages to do this, I'll tell you what. The Undisputed Elite, they won't be able to say shit. Like they've tried in one-on-one action tag team matches to get the better of the women's tag team champions. They've not been able to do so. If they cannot defeat Sarah Miller here tonight, I think their aspirations of another shot at the women's tag team titles might be down the drain, unless, of course, they're able to win that tag team cup in Tokyo, Japan next month. Stopped again from making the tag. This is actually a great strategy by Sarah Miller, trying to keep Ruby Rebel in the ring, not allow her to make the tag. Ruby Rebel at this point, obviously the most injured of the Undisputed Elite. Go behind him to a German suplex. Now going to ringside, not exactly sure what Miller's doing here, looking for her tag team partners. They're nowhere to be found. Oh, misses that elbow drop. That's going to give Rebel her opening German suplex, but not just one. Spins her around to say, how do you deal with a waistlock lariat as well? And unfortunately, that's going to let Ruby make the tag now. Big suplex coming in. Tori Doyle's not even been tagged in yet. Think of that. She's still completely 100% fresh. And what a knee there from Plex, by the way, who now throws Miller into the corner, tags Rebel right back in. And the numbers advantage getting put to work. Oh my God, T and Lee in the morning? Where are my Kevin Lee, Tim LaFave heads at? Speaking of the Tag Team Cup. Right back in the corner. Look at this, methodical by the Undisputed Elite. Throwing Miller, well, Jesus Christ. A tombstone pile driver with a little assist off the ropes from Ruby Rebel. They are murdering my girl Sarah. Oh, and the cheeky, come on. The dirty pin. Miller gonna power out of it. Doesn't let it happen. Off the ropes, go behind, snaps her down with a dragon suplex. Tag to Tori Doyle. First time Tori's actually been legal in this matchup. Right out of the apron, but Miller quick to escape to the outside. She's not running, though. Again, got to give Miller props here. She's not backing down. She's not tucking tail. Won't give Undisputed Elite the satisfaction. Back and forth between these two. Into the corner. Tags in Rebel. Tossed into a, looks like rolling fireman's carry. Senton Doyle up the top of the 450 splash. And Rebel with a moonsault. Imagine being Alice Blake right now. Probably laid up in a hospital bed watching this unfold. Unable to do anything. Celestia too. Oh, what a super kick. And now a tag to suplex. Undisputed Elite is having fun. They're having some fun here with Sarah Miller. Busted open off that headbutt. That might have woke Miller up though. She's still alive. Off the rope she goes. Vindication! Voice Vindy heads, rise up. And now we get a bow and arrow. Oh, submission, you see all that often these days. Suplex, though, unfortunately quick to escape. And it's tossed right back in the corner, man. Tag to Rebel. They are just picking her apart like vultures here. Oh, my God! Tossed into the air and caught on the way down with a sort of 21. Only got a 1 count, though. Rebel from the corner, stalking her. Waiting for Sarah Miller to get to her feet. Chop to the chest. Great combination. Stopped, though, by Miller. And Miller with the stiff kicks to the chest. And that final one right to the back of the head. Can Miller do it? Can she actually do it? 1, 2, oh, suplex. Makes the save, breaks up the pin. Miller, another pixie plex. A second pixie plex. Sir, a second pixie plex has hit the towers. Oh, the Ruby Rebel kicks out. You gotta be joking. That might have been it. That might have been Sarah's last-ditch effort there. How much can she have left? Busted open. Beaten down here by the Undisputed Elite. Oh, I can't even see what's going on here. Suplex, massive frame in the way. Oh, roll up from Ruby Rebel. Crucifix has Miller trapped. And she almost had her too. Very nearly had her. And might still spins her around from behind. Taken for a ride, electric chair. Dropped into a, what the fuck? I thought she was going for a bloody brick cliffhanger. Turned it into a sort of Sarasi driver situation as the tag now to Tori Doyle. Who again is nice and fresh. She's barely did anything in this matchup. Oh, just look at this. Insult to injury. The People's Moonsault. Oh, but too much lollygagging. And Sarah Miller, she's of the people. Wheelbarrow DDT by Doyle. And brings Miller ever so slowly up to her feet, trying to get her right back out of the corner. Miller says, I've had just about enough. Knife edge chop gets blocked, though, and a kick to the gut. Out of the corner. Miller able to sidestep her there. As now the Irish looking to send her off the ropes. Miller goes low. German suplex with the bridge to pin. Rebel, though, gonna bring that bridge crashing down. Rebel gonna pay, but this allows Tori Doyle to get to her feet. Take advantage. Miller, German suplex again. Respect. Sarah Miller, put some respect on the name. More kicks to the chest. Right to the back of the head. Has Doyle down into the pin. 1, 2. Kick out by Doyle. She's lasted this long. That is impressive in and of itself. Pixie Plex. A third Pixie Plex. This time to Tori Doyle. 1, 2. Kick out though. Like we said before, Tori Doyle, the freshest of the Undisputed Elite at this point. Simply not enough damage done as Miller now goes to the top rope at her wit's end. Gonna take the big risk. Frog splash! 1, 2! Unbelievable, man. Miller wondering, what do I have to do here? Fisherman's driver, she's keeping the pressure on. Hitting Tori Doyle with massive move after massive move. That kick to the head by a rung her bell, though. Up against the ropes, Miller. Oh, eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Pacing back and forth, blood flowing down her face. Gonna take a piece of the Undisputed Elite with her. Trying to break that arm in half. Suplex watching from the apron. Careful not to get disqualified here. Lifting reverse DDT. Hey, if I'm Sarah Miller, give me the count out win. I'm saying here, that might be the one situation where I wouldn't blame someone for taking the count out Dubsky, but looks like Sarah Miller not going to take the cheap way out. Oh, but now getting ganged up on by Suplex and Ruby Rebel while Tori Doyle's back in the ring. And wait a minute. Count of 9, you gotta be kidding me. The Undisputed Elite winning this by count out. A handicap match and they still had to win by count out. Unbelievable. Sarah Miller even threw Tori Doyle back into the ring to continue the match properly. But then Ruby Rebel and Suplex got their hands on Miller at ringside. Sarah Miller proved her toughness in this matchup. 1-on-3, she stood her ground. She almost had this match won. She may have won it. Well, the Undisputed Elite didn't even let that be a possibility. A pixie plex, not once, not twice, but thrice, man. She was handing them out. Payback for Celestia. But in the end, the numbers game caught up to her. What a frog splash, by the way. That was a phenomenal frog splash. Miller getting caught at ringside. You see right here, Ruby Rebel delivering a nasty Samoan drop onto the floor just as the referee counted to 10. And a win's a win. Technically, the Undisputed Elite just knocked off the Women's Tag Team Champion. And not a damn thing anybody can do about it. Sarah Miller's still out there unconscious on the floor. Like a pack of dogs, these three. And I mean that in the best way possible. And my friends, this next matchup, as well as Climb to Fame tomorrow night, brought to you by HelloFresh. You can use our code, !HelloFresh in the chat, our link to get 10 free meals for yourself and support CMV while you're at it. We want to say thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring CMV. And again, Climb to Fame, our first special event of the season, tomorrow night. You do not want to miss it. We're going to be heading to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and what a show we have in store for y'all, including the Climb to Fame contract ladder match, the Rising Star ladder match, as well as Ellie Quinn's death, broadcasted live for your pleasure, your viewing pleasure. You can't miss it. But coming up next, the Harbinger Salvage here on Octane 117, answering Van Lightning's open challenge. Van Lightning, who debuted last week here on Octane, had a hell of a match with Ricky Gelady. It was meat. Slapping meat, brother. And in the end, unfortunately for Lightning, his storm was sequestered by Ricky Gelady, but Lightning not staying down for long. He got up, he drank himself a couple of Four Locos, had a couple of raw eggs, and now he's ready for another fight. Salvage, the one to answer his open challenge here. Quite a clash of styles this one's going to be. I'll tell you what, having Van Lightning and the Bloody Brick Chris Andrews on the same roster makes me a little bit scared. I don't know if these two have crossed paths yet, but all the local liquor stores, watch out. Is this one going to get kicked off with a collar elbow tie-up? The Four Locos coursing through the veins of Van Lightning here. Salvage with the go behind. Again, like I said, a very much a clash of styles between these two. Not even just looks-wise in the ring as well, lifestyles. I mean, everything. Salvage, the Harbinger, going to get up to his feet now, back and forth here. Looks like Lightning starting to take control of the knife-edge chop, clothesline. Oh, tries to come back at him. No, Salvage with the quick escape. And, well, maybe Salvage rethinking his decision to answer this open challenge. Looks like the Harbinger's going to walk out, but, oh, it was a trap! Salvage dug the hole, covered it with leaves, and waited for Van Lightning to walk right into it. Well, Lightning now pissed off. The only thing worse than Van Lightning might be an angry Van Lightning. Salvage gets tossed back into the ring. Lightning not letting him go anywhere fast. What a clever ploy by Salvage, but ultimately it looks like it didn't work very well. Salvage, who got knocked out in the semifinals of the Global Championship Tournament, defeated by Bob Luger. Harbinger waiting for Lightning to get to his feet. I never want to know what's going through the mind of that man, Salvage. There's very few superstars that terrify me. Salvage is most certainly one of them. The other is Alice Blake. Let's go to the top rope now. Salvage, that's a big boy about to fly. Perched up on top. Oh, the cheek. Then Lightning coming to as Salvage gets back into the ring. And the power of this man, Van Lightning. Tossing Salvage around like a pancake here as he drops him chest first across the top rope and into the pin. One. Only a one count though. He stomps now to the chest. Van Lightning. Straight out the trailer park. Watch as Salvage escapes the outside, but Lightning keep it on top of him. Alabama slam on the floor. It looked like Salvage might have knocked the back of his head too. Some whiplash for the Harbinger. Ah, damn, Van Lightning. Giving him all he can handle and then some. Stop to the bicep for the cherry on top. Oh, and look at this. Look at this. Military press. Salvage got to be almost 300 pounds. And with ease, Van Lightning, via the power of Four Loko, keeps him energized. Most people I know, Four Loko puts him out. Van Lightning's the opposite. I don't know what this man's made of. All right, a count of 7 here, by the way. Lightning better get his ass back in the ring. Doesn't want to end up like Sarah Miller. Jogging and spin him around. I don't even know if the Bloody Brick can keep up with Van Lightning. Because as far as I know, Chris Andrews, he likes a nice lager, you know, a nice beer, maybe an IPA. I don't know if he can handle Four Locos all night long. Oh, falling power bomb. That's vintage Salvage there. 1, 2, but a kick out. Lightning stays alive, but for how much longer? Salvage again, arms wide, beckoning for Van Lightning to get to his feet. Oh, Van Lightning, though, holding his ground. Refusing to back down. Salvage even playing games with him. Counter the chop. One of his own across that pale chest. Back and forth. Neither man budging here. And now it's Van Lightning. Look at they're saying, let's do it then. Shot for shot. Knocking each other loopy. But a quick roll up here. Salvage gonna steal it. No, a kick out. Van Lightning again keeps his head above the water, but barely. Oh, what a knee to the side of the head. And now gonna smash Van Lightning's face off the floor and even busts him open. He's gonna be leaking pure Four Loko. Oh, head first, did you hear that? Right off the steel ring post. And Salvage loves it. The harbinger of what's to come here in CMV. Not gonna look for that count out win though. Going to collect. Van Lightning gets thrown gut first into the steel barricade. Belly to belly slam down onto the floor though to counter that kick. Throws him off to the side. The Salvage is very slow, methodical. Everything planned out by Salvage. Everything with foresight. Oh, just throws him into that steel ring post. God damn, man. And now back into the ring. Van Lightning gonna have a broken back right now. And you think Salvage gives a damn? Think again, bear hug. Targeting that back and the midsection as well. But Van Lightning still fighting. Clothesline attempted, turns around. Oh, and right into the side slam. That will do it. 1, 2, 3. Salvage picks up the win. A very game Van Lightning once again. Not game enough though. Someone get this man a Four Loko stat. Here was that falling power bomb from Salvage that nearly had Van Lightning done in early on. Salvage is too powerful. Here's the end of this matchup. Ducks the clothesline right into that swinging side slam. There's too much damage done to Van Lightning's back. Throughout that matchup, the Harbinger. Yeah, that's a face I don't even know if a mother could love. And up next, my friends, Isaac Diaz is already in the ring, ready to take on that man, Kendrick Russell. Well, he's supposed to be taking on Kendrick Russell, but that right there is Tiger Brown, my friends. Octane's most recent acquisition, and yes, of a pure excellence. It looks like Isaac Diaz not going to be facing the man he thought he would be facing here tonight. The blue-haired bastard obviously not looking too happy about it. So this matchup going to go ahead. Referee rings the bell. This is the debut, guys, of Tiger Brown. One-on-one with Isaac Diaz. Looks like Kendrick Russell is going to stick around at ringside. And the rug being pulled out from under Diaz here tonight. Of course, it was Isaac Diaz who last week here on Octane, guys, saved Dusty Burns from potentially being sent to a local hospital at the hands of Kendrick Russell. For their matchup, Kendrick Russell defeating Dusty Burns, but apparently that was not enough. Russell went and retrieved a steel chair from under the ring and was just about to get to work. And Isaac Diaz rushed in and drove him off. Kendrick Russell said he was going to make Isaac Diaz pay for getting involved in his business. Looks like Tiger Brown going to be the one to carry out the hit, though, here tonight. Yes, representing pure excellence. Yet another arriving here in CMV. Got Jackson Drake earlier, just last night, on Shockwave, part of that nasty brawl in the parking lot. We're still not exactly sure of the condition of our Zero-G champion, if he'll even make it to Climb to Fame tomorrow night. Of course, he's set to be involved in the Climb to Fame contract ladder match. He and Troy Call both viciously taken out by Tobias Jones, and hopefully we will get an update, but we're already up to a count of 9, by the way. Both these guys at the same time. What a save there. With literally less than a second to spare. Tiger Brown shot to the back of Isaac's knee. And now some follow-up stomps to the chest and a forearm upside the head. Kendrick Russell has now brought some backup with him. If Isaac Diaz wants to play savior, he's going to pay the price. And I notice there's no Dusty Burns out here to repay the favor. Help out Isaac Diaz. Tiger Brown tries for a neat, nice reversal. Forearm to the side of the head. Now off the ropes. Tries to go for a big kick, spreads apart the legs, and a stomp to the gut by Brown. Wait for Diaz to get to his feet. Irish whip. Off the ropes, he sends him drop down on the rebound. Go behind. Looks like he maybe didn't fully get the full Nelson locked in, but still able to take Brown down with that dragon suplex. Now from the apron, looking for a knee. Diaz well scouted. Get an inverted suplex. Quickly looks for a senton, but instead Tiger Brown slow things down a little bit with these clubbing blows. Still to come here tonight, my friends, on Octane episode 117, tag team action. We got Brina Story and Fig taking on Giovanna and Cassie Vance. Also still got Silas Blackwell one-on-one with Corvo Jack. And our main event, that All-Stars Trios matchup. As we get ready to head to Toronto, Ontario, Canada tomorrow night. Climb to Fame. Oh, Isaac Diaz going to completely whiff that, I think, blockbuster he was looking for. Going to make up for it, though. Trips Tiger up into a crossface. Got the arm trap, too. Very bad position to be in. Tiger Brown is quick to escape. His surprise debut here tonight. Again, this was supposed to be Kendrick Russell versus Isaac Diaz. Whoa, outside moonsault into the reverse DDT and right into the pin. Ref taking their time. One. Only a 1 count. On Tiger with a roar. He might be calling for the end of this matchup. Bad news for Mr. Diaz. Kitchen sink delivered. Kendrick Russell likes what he's seeing from ringside. Ooh, but a quick jawbreaker by the blue-haired bastard. We're going to trip him up. He's got him caught again. Caught again in that crossface. Oh. Looks like Tiger Brown's right foot may have been underneath the bottom rope. Diaz, though, says no matter. Big knee to the chest from out of the corner. And that forces Tiger Brown to try to readjust at ringside, but it might have been a trap. Lured Isaac Diaz out there, took him out. with that rolling thunder complete shot. Now throws him right back into the ring while he's dazed. Up to the top rope. That's quite a distance, though. Yeah, I didn't think. Oh, and right into Isaac Diaz, who delivers that enziguri. Dragged away from the bottom rope. Maybe trying to look at the lock in that crossface the third time. Oh, that might have lost a tooth right there. Elbows, elbows, elbows by Isaac Diaz, able to escape the clutches of Tiger Brown. Off the ropes he goes, looking for his own Asai moonsault into the write-off. Anything you can do, I can do better type. Just got him right in the position he wants him. Isaac Diaz gonna hook the arms, belly to back, slams him down into the pin. 1, 2, kick out by Tiger. Much to the shock of Isaac Diaz. He thought he had it in the back for sure right there. Well, it looks like Tiger Brown has been busted open at this point. Maybe off of that belly to back slam. Oh, Isaac Diaz bleeding too. Via that snake eyes. To the top goes Tiger. Waiting for Diaz to get to his feet. Oh, he was looking for a neck breaker or something. Whatever he's going to try for there. Diaz. Hook to the jaw. No, count him with a kick to the gut. Sent him down to the outside. Tiger Brown. Oh my God, going to take to the air. Woo! Plancha by Tiger Brown. And that's got the fans up on their feet. This is awesome indeed. What a match. This wasn't even supposed to be Tiger Brown's debut. As Isaac Diaz gets thrown off to the side. Up to his feet. Grabbing him by that blue hair and elbows. More of them to the gut. As Diaz, look at, they're mean mugging each other. They're agreeing to get back into the ring. Fair play. They don't want this one ending by count out. Diaz rolls out of the way and into the double cross. Boom, 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 boom. Blasted is Tiger Brown. And Diaz making sure there's no rope break shenanigans. 1, 2. 2.999. And these fans are loving it here in attendance. Fight forever. I wouldn't mind it. Oh, again! Gets caught with that complete shot. Full steam ahead here as Diaz in the corner. Forearm smash and a kick upside the head. Oh, my, an exploder. Tiger Brown going crazy in there right now. As he hoists up Diaz. Kendrick Russell in his corner. Pure excellence to mark their territory here on Octane. What a spear by that man. And the final nail in the coffin might be a little bit of sweet chin music for you. 1, 2. Even Kendrick Russell can't believe it. Look at Tiger right out onto the apron, though he's not having it. He's having none of it. Springboard looks for a big knee. Diaz able to sidestep and rolls him up. The steal, the steal. 1, 2. Oh, what a kick. You gotta be kidding me. Boy, literally on the edge of my seat here. What a match. Up to Brett's rope now. Diaz turns around. Phoenix splash. The blue-haired bastard. That's not enough apparently. Now he's out on the apron. Locked. Loaded. Big forearm. No. Tiger Brown sidesteps him. Knocks him looping with that punch. Now Irish whip. Off the ropes he goes. Drop down. The leapfrog. Looks to go low. Clothesline by the blue-haired bastard. Who now goes up top. Moonsault, but Tiger Brown gets to his feet. Now Tiger Brown off the ropes. Asai moonsault drops him like a sack of stone. Tiger now. Cheeky jab, forearm smash, and again. Lighting him up like a Christmas tree here. Tiger up to the top rope. He goes perhaps one last time. He was looking for this earlier. He didn't get it. Oh, my word! Old school Schmitty. That famous, or what? How the hell is that not enough? Tiger Brown, eyes wide, man. Back on the attack, though. Falcon Arrow. Picks him right back up. Full steam right now. Sheer into a counter to a power slam. Diaz thinks quick. Grabbing a hold of the arm. What a knee! My man might be dead. 1, 2. Brother, what is in the water here? Isaac Diaz looking for maybe the crossface again. Tiger Brown, elbow to the gut, off the ropes he goes. Big kick though, did he get it? Taken out for a walk up against the ropes. Last place he wants to be right about now. On the rebound, passes him by, off the chest. Tiger Brown with the roll up. Tiger Brown rolls him up. 1, 2. Oh, what? Night bench shot, but Diaz gets out of it. Tries for a big boot. Tiger Brown counters. Trips him up. Knee bar. Knee bar. Knee bar locked in. Diaz too far for the ropes, but he's able to escape. He gets out of it. Both men so slowly to their feet. This has been a war. Forearm smash. And another. Ducks the close. A Pele kick. He says, where do you think you're going? Drags him away from the ropes into the pin. Can this finally be enough? 1, 2, 3. Yes, Isaac Diaz with that Pele kick collects the win. What a match. I'm literally short of breath right now. That might be one of the best matches I've seen in a minute. Early match of the year candidate? I think potentially. And this is Tiger Brown's debut. And it wasn't even supposed to be his debut. And this man delivered. But Isaac Diaz delivered just a little bit more. Whew. I don't know how it didn't end after that knee to the face. Both men getting so desperate in the end. You had Tiger Brown looking for that roll up there. But finally, this is what did it. Tiger Brown would not stay down until this. Bam! Pele kick. And that final, Kendrick couldn't even look. He knew it was over too. The blue-haired bastard sticking it to Kendrick Russell here tonight. Whew, I feel like I need to smoke after that match, brother. That was insane. And we still have a whole hell of a lot to go here, my friends. As coming up next, it's our tertiary main event on Octane episode 117. We've still got Silas Blackwell and Corvo Jack one-on-one, and our huge all-star trios match in our main event. But up first here, tag team action. As Brina Story going to be paired up with Fig to take on Giovanna and Cassidy Vance. Brina Story, who of course last week here on Octane, guys, we saw a knockoff Salem in what was a very big feel-good win for Brina Story. Of course, Salem prior had a borderline stalking story and cost her first 2 matches here in CMV. In fact, her second matchup against her tag team partner here tonight. Fig, who of course tomorrow night in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, climb to fame, takes part in the Rising Star ladder match. And one of her opponents in that matchup, her opponent here tonight, Giovanna Vance. We'll also be joined by Quinn Bell, Chloe Marks, Ashley McKay, and Dallas Cole. The winner of that match, guys, earns a future shot at Maggie Shaw's Rising Star Championship. Fig so far undefeated here in CMV. Looking to keep it that way alongside Brina Story. Easier said than done considering who they're up against, though. Giovanna Vance also undefeated so far. And we're talking about Cassidy coming off that win against Sarah Miller last week, ending her one-on-one undefeated streak, which went on for months. Something tells me Fig might feel right at home in a ladder match, but I guess we'll find out for sure tomorrow night. These two are both psyched up and ready to go for this matchup, though. Taking on the Vances. Giovanna there on the right, Cassidy on the left. As I said a moment ago, both these women carrying with them a lot of momentum into this matchup. We saw, of course, Giovanna earlier tonight accompanying Jeremiah Carter at ringside during his debut matchup. Very busy here tonight. But much like we saw Dallas Cole pick up momentum for herself last night's Fatal 4 match on Shockwave, both Fig and Giovanna looking to do the same here. So we're going to have Brina Story kicking things off against Giovanna Vance here in our tertiary main event. After he rings that bell to get it off, Brina, A for effort as she looked for that single leg drop kick to the chest. An early tag made to Cassidy, who I noticed has changed up her gear a little bit. New hairstyle. She's feeling really good after that win over Sarah Miller last week, and no reason that she shouldn't. The winner, of course, of Season 2 of CMV's The Reality of Wrestling. Younger sister of Blake Virtue, trying to carve out a name for herself. I don't know what's going on. These ropes are greased tonight, but it seems like everybody that tries to go for some top rope or springboard maneuvers have been slipping and sliding all over the place throughout the night. Chop to the chest by Brina. Oh, says, how do you do to Giovanna, who doesn't budge at all. Just letting Story do what she has to there. And the tag now to Fig. Very unorthodox is Fig, but it's been to her benefit so far. Again, undefeated. And like I said in the ladder match, might be to your benefit to be unorthodox, to keep your opponents on their toes. Gonna be the first woman that can climb a ladder and unhook the contract that hangs high above the ring. That will earn a future crack at Maggie Shaw's Rising Star Championship. Giovanna, from a very affluent family, talked about that during her interview on What's the 411 CMV. Look at these two tossing Fig back and forth. Knees to the midsection. Love it. Became very close during Season 2 of The Reality of Wrestling. Did Giovanna and Cassidy. Becoming family in a lot of ways. Of course, Jeremiah Carter as well. Glides off the kidneys there. Does Giovanna. Now it's going to prop up Fig. And scoop her up. Obviously, I talked about this last week. I think Giovanna might have herself quite a advantage in the Rising Star ladder match. Much like Quinn Bell, both very tall, long legs, going to allow them to get up the ladders much faster than the rest of their opponents. They're in a Story back in now quickly. Takes out the back of the knee, but Story thinking fast to go off the ropes into the pin. 1, 2, almost had her there. Very, very close indeed. Wrench to the arm. And again to take Cassidy off her feet. Stiff kick to the back. Sure to send shooting pains up and down the spine. Story was very upset that she potentially missed out on a Rising Star ladder match qualifier thanks to Salem. That lost to Fig a couple of weeks back. Well, she certainly made up for it last week, though. What a match those two had, and what a win for Brina Story. And now that she's tasted victory here in CMV, doesn't want to go back to her losing ways so soon. Oh my God, they're going to do it again. They did it to Fig. Now it's Brina's turn. Tossing it back like a game of Pong. Repeated knees to the midsection, man. Talking about cracked ribs if you're lucky. Certainly have you struggling to catch your breath. As Giovanna goes off, to the back of the head looking for a drop kick. Brina, though, seen it coming. Some serious instincts. Oh, knocks Fig off the apron to deliver that springboard Pele kick and stops her from trying to make a tag as well. Now it's going to be Giovanna tagging in Cassidy. And right away, senton across the lower back of Story and hook of the leg for only a 2 count. There's momentum at stake here for both Fig and Giovanna Vance heading into the Rising Star ladder match tomorrow night. Whereas both Brina Story and Cassidy Vance just want to capitalize on their wins last week. Continue to build their own momentum. Look at Brina Story, the delayed sit-out powerbomb. Showing off her power a little bit there. A tertiary main event on Octane episode 117. Coming up next, guys, Silas Black and Corvo Jack one-on-one. I'm ready for it. I've been ready for weeks. I know that both of them have been. They're both clear. They're ready to get at it. As I did receive word earlier tonight, guys, the Pure Champion Alaric returns to action next week here on Octane. You know, though, he's going to be watching our co-main event up next, because the winner of that, more than likely, is next in line for a shot at his Pure Championship. Going into the corner is Fig. Now Giovanna full steam ahead. Took a little bit too long, though. That pump kick in the corner attempted. Fig gets out of the way, catches the kick there, but caught a knee. Both these women, excuse me, just swallowed my own tongue there. Both these women, along with Quinn Bell, Chloe Marks, Ashley McKay, and Dallas Cole, who battle with each other tomorrow night. What Giovanna Vance does to a motherfucker, man. Makes you swallow your own tongue. Off the ropes goes, just ask Jeremiah Carter. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, nicely caught it. Look at this Fig with an STF. An STF locked in by Fig. Oh, but Giovanna escaped with some elbows to the jaw. Great combinations, man. Giovanna uses those long legs of hers expertly. Again, just ask Jeremiah Carter. Up to Brett's rope. Turns herself around to deliver an elbow to the chest of Fig. Giovanna undefeated. And that snapmare driver might ensure that it continues to be the case for Giovanna. Oh, but she ain't gonna stop there. Lifts Fig up, who already looks to be unconscious, to deliver that sick kick right upside the head of Brina, man. Not even allowing a 1 count. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, breaks up that pin right there. Fig, though, I don't think she's conscious. It's tossed into the corner of the tag made to Cassidy Vance now. Double Irish whip. Double shoulder takedown. Fig wants to get the hell out of there. Blake Virtue-esque knee by Cassidy. Oh, and there's the knee to the face from Cassidy Vance out of the corner, but non-stopping as she goes up to the top rope for a moonsault. Serious trouble is Fig in right now, and that's going to be enough to get the win for the Vances. Like I said, I think Fig was knocked out after that snapmare driver, and then the kick upside the head to boot. Reina Story did what she could, making the save, but Fig is going to be the one tasting defeat here tonight, as Giovanna Vance not only keeps up her undefeated streak, but momentum earned heading into tomorrow night's Rising Star ladder match. I can't believe they were doing that. It was borderline bullying for sure. Well, Fig gonna look to make up for this tomorrow night. She and 5 others, including Giovanna Vance. Here's where it pretty much ended, I think. This snapmare driver put Fig to sleep. If that wasn't bad enough, Giovanna Vance followed up with this. Boom! Right to the side of the head. But Brina Story would break up the pin. Honestly, it was for naught. Even Brina there in the end was like, yeah, I mean, what could I do? Giovanna Vance then with the knee to the jaw and then a moonsault. Yeah, that could have been anybody. Wasn't kicking out of that, man. Fig got, it was about as much as she could handle and then some in the end right there. Will Giovanna Vance be the one? I didn't even see Cassidy got busted open. But will Giovanna be the one to climb that ladder tomorrow night and unhook that contract, earn herself a Rising Star Championship match? Or will it be Fig? Or will it be Quinn Bell, Chloe Marks, Ashley McKay, Dallas Cole? Find out tomorrow night, baby. right, and we are back now and ready to go here on Octane episode 117. Silas Blackwell's in the ring, ready to get it on, and so is Corvo Jack, apparently. Rolling into the ring before the match even started, beating the hell out of Silas Blackwell. This is obviously what we've seen take place over these last few weeks between these two. Less wrestling and more just beating the hell out of each other, as was the case a couple of weeks ago in the parking lot outside of the arena. Both these guys tearing into each other. I mean, we saw I think Corvo Jack slammed Silas Blackwell onto the hood of someone's trunk, and Blackwell drove Corvo Jack's head down onto the concrete ground. It took both men out of action last week, but we did hear from Jack challenging Silas Blackwell to this matchup. While not officially a number one contenders match, surely the winner of this has got to be first in line for a crack at Alaric's Pure Championship. And as I said earlier tonight, Alaric does return to action next week, making his season debut. But I gotta think that he's watching this matchup right now. Obviously, he's very familiar with Silas Blackwell towards the end of last season, the winner of the inaugural season of Reality of Wrestling, hounding Alaric endlessly, even creating his own, what he called the real Pure Championship, and parading that around. And even after losing to Alaric in a championship matchup, still would not give up and interrupted that number one contenders match on the season premiere of Octane between Corvo Jack and Kai Thatcher, which led to Jack wanting blood. He's out to get it here tonight. Corvo Jack says once he's finished with Silas Blackwell, his sights are going to be on that Pure Championship and nothing else. But Blackwell's become a man obsessed with what he says. We had him on What's the 411 CMV a few weeks back, and continuing to say Alaric is a phony Pure Champion. He does not represent real wrestling. Everything he does is fake, and that Silas Blackwell is the real deal. And he deserves to be the Pure Champion, and nobody else. As he throws Corvo Jack headfirst into the steel ring post. I'll tell you, there's nothing really pure about this right now. The way these two are going at it, the way this match started, Corvo Jack running down the ramp into the ring, beating the hell out of Blackwell before the bell even got a chance to ring. And now they're at ringside just throwing each other around. There we go. At last, Blackwell going to get Jack back into the ring. Now he goes up to the top rope. Corvo Jack, who is undefeated so far here in CMV. Unpinned, unsubmitted. That might be about to change considering that look in Silas's eyes right now. He's trying for a powerbomb. Great reversal by Jack, though, into a pin. Might be able to steal it right here. Oh, Blackwell going to counter into a pin of his own, though. Almost had it, too. Jack right back in position. Silas Blackwell back and forth here between these two. Oh, but a kick out by Blackwell there finally brings it to an end. Counter for counter. As you see Blackwell pull himself up on the apron, but Jack not going to give him even a moment to rest. Sunset flip, powerbomb down onto the floor. May have just shattered Silas's spine. That's if it wasn't already shattered after that brawl in the parking lot a couple of weeks ago. Just speaks to the toughness of both these men. They only needed a week to recover. As we see Jack get thrown down onto the floor. Again, this isn't officially a number one contenders match, but we heard from Kai Thatcher the other day. In fact, he called out Alaric. He was Corvo Jack's opponent in that number one contenders match on the season premiere. He wasn't too happy that that match got interrupted either. So he's in the mix. You got Max Cutter also calling for his shot at the Pure Championship. And by the way, I did see from Max Cutter earlier, he let out that tweet saying he has accepted my challenge for next week's Octane, that gauntlet match. So that will be going down. Max Cutter versus every single newcomer. Wait a minute. What's the ref at? Yeah, 9 of Silas Blackwell with a second to spare. But as I was saying, Max Cutter next week going to take on every single newcomer on the Octane roster. 10-man gauntlet match. As we get a pinfall attempt here by Jack after that big kick between the eyes. Kick out, though, by the Anomaly. Silas Blackwell says there's nobody like him in CMV, and in fact, the wrestling world as a whole. Big European uppercut attempt off the ropes by Jack. Blackwell gets out of the way. Always looking to lock in that Kimura of his, or perhaps go for the blackout, that big reverse DDT. Up to Brett's ropes, stalking the Frenchman. The Arab Joe, and he calls himself. Big drop kick to the chest. That'll have you struggling to breathe a kick like that. As he gets pulled up to a seated position now. Off the ropes, he goes for another neck twist. Oh, a quick kick to the side of the head, though. Jack, so dangerous. Right back up to his feet, and now he's going in the corner. Calling for a clothesline. Forearm to the back of the head. Silas must have eyes to the back of his head, though, to see that one coming. Able to duck it now. An Irish whip. Off the ropes, he sends him big belly-to-belly overhead. Now out onto the apron, up to the top rope. Silas Blackwell, who I wouldn't say is a very frequent flyer. What's he going to look for here? Knee drop to the chest. From up off the top rope into the pin. 1, 2. That was a close one. And Silas Blackwell not happy. He feels the ref was counting a little bit slow. Might not matter. Silas Blackwell looking for the blackout. He hit this on a curb a couple of weeks ago in the parking lot. That might have Corvo Jack dead to rights. 1, 2. No, it does not. Corvo Jack kicks out barely. And again, Silas Blackwell arguing with the referee. He thought that should have been a 3 count. Corvo Jack back in the fight. Big jumping clothesline. Silas Blackwell looking for refuge, trying to get up in the corner here. Oh, Corvo Jack having a little bit of trouble. There we go. Elbow to the midsection, gets back into the ring where Blackwell's already ready for him. Dragged into the corner, face first off the top turnbuckle. Corvo Jack's been busted open. Man, this has been a fight. Both of these guys were technical wrestlers, but this is more akin to a, well, what we saw a couple weeks ago. Brawl in the parking lot. It looks like Jack's been cut alongside his right eyebrows. Now he's put up on the top rope. He wants none of that. He's able to get down onto his own 2 feet. Kick to the back of the head. I don't know what Corvo Jack has to do to turn things around at this point. Silas Blackwell firmly in control as he goes up to the top rope again. Waiting for Jack to get to his feet. Another drop kick. Perfectly executed. And into the pin. Almost had it, man. Silas looking around like, you gotta be kidding me. That was the very definition of 2.999 right there. Blackwell lighting him up. Damn, trips him right into the pin again. Very persistent is Blackwell. And another extremely close call. Again, Corvo Jack's undefeated here in CMV. He's not willing to give it all. There's the Kimura. The Kimura now is locked in. Silas Blackwell's got Jack caught. He's going to break that arm. That's the arm that Blackwell injured a couple of weeks ago. And Jack has no choice but to tap out in order to save his arm. That's the very same arm Silas Blackwell almost broke back in that #1 contenders match. Corvo Jack had to live to fight another day. We got a replay of that Kimura, man. The way he was torquing on it. Another couple of seconds. Don't get it twisted. Silas Blackwell would have broken Corvo Jack's arm easily and wouldn't have felt bad about it for even a second. And with this, guys, you got to imagine Silas Blackwell gets his match with Alaric. Corvo Jack came in hot at the start of this matchup, but it was Blackwell in the end. There's the blackout there. That's not what did Corvo Jack in, though. Silas Blackwell, he was locked in. He was focused. He was deadly. Look at this. Look at the way he pulls back. He would have broken it. Corvo Jack saving his arm at the expense of his undefeated streak here in CMV. And now Silas Blackwell might have a straight shot to Alaric and that Pure Championship.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a surprise guest. I am backstage. I am currently retired due to a number of injuries. This is DRH here, ready to call this impromptu backstage brawls. We're supposed to have a 6-man tag team matchup, but unfortunately, we're having an impromptu battle backstage. This does not look good. Brawling up top, serious injuries could occur. These two up top. Bob Luger up top here, reversing it with some elbows there, picking up. And a side slam. Being slammed here, a suplex into a neck breaker. Bob taunting. Picking him up. Oh, got some more company up here. Chris Andrews, dropping back down. He said, never mind. I don't want any part of that. These two up here. Oh, and reversing Irish whip is Bob. Taking out the shoulder tackle down below there. Oh, Chris and Bob going at it now. Irish whipping him off. Oh no! Oh no! Bob, that might be a career-ending injury right there. Tossing him off the top. I can't believe this. And he's getting up already. I can't believe this. And he's taking the elevator. He said, screw climbing. I'm taking the elevator nice and slow, taking my time. And a taunt. And a suplex over there. Oh. Oh, and he's going back down. Ladies and gentlemen, I think he's picked his target. Coming over here. Oh. Oh. Octane down. Taking a spine wrestler. Hookman. Oh, and a pile driver. Bob taking a lot of serious damage back here. Right on the concrete. Up on the top, the other guys out of camera view, unfortunately. Let's hope all is well for them up there. Picking him up in a makeshift ring that's back here, made out of boxes and other storage things. Reversing back and forth. Oh. Octane grabbing him. Nope. And a kick. Bob taking punches and kicks left and right. Grabbing his foot. Reversing. Now Bob's grabbing him. Oh, somebody taking the elevator, it sounds. No. Oh, they're both coming down. Brawling in the elevator, it seems. Not safe in the elevator. A lot of taunting going on. Grabbing him. And Bob tossing him off. Said, I got tossed off. I want to toss somebody else off something. The chaos back here. Oh, and a big uppercut by Bob. To Ahmed. The main event looks like it's been ruined by this impromptu battle. They could not hold it. They had to brawl here and now. Where are Aaron Stone and John Reed perhaps taken out at an earlier time, hence this impromptu brawl. Back and forth, picking him up. What's he gonna do? And a reverse somebody. Oh, Ahmed just got busted open back here. Everyone jumping over. What a mosh pit we got back here right now. Oh, Bob got Chris up. What's gonna happen here? Oh, and an F10 to the concrete, ladies and gentlemen. And a cone knocked down. Oh, senton there. Reversing left and right. Bob hooking and a lifting DDT to the concrete. I can't see how nobody's going to make it out of here with some kind of injury. Bob just going to town on everyone he sees. Oh. Whipping him to the ground. Oh. Chris is up again. And out of camera view, unfortunately, but it sounds like he dropped hard to the concrete. Where is security, ladies and gentlemen? This is just all over the place. Somebody's going to get seriously hurt if no one comes to stop this. And a German suplex. Oh, turn him around. Oh, and a ripcord clothesline by Bob. Taking him down. And lifting him up. And a reversal to a inverted DDT. Going over here now. Oh, he's coming up. He's just got a table. He's just standing there. Having some trouble. And a clothesline. Flipping Bob inside out. Chris and Bob going at it once again. Reversing. Elbows to the gut. Grabbing him. Irish whipping him up top. Looks like everyone's going up top now. Oh, somebody just fell onto a table. Knocking an expensive piece of a backstage equipment over here. It might be coming out of his paycheck if he breaks that. Oh, Chris carrying Bob. Oh, lifted him. Oh, 360 pile driver. Oh, Bob taking a lot of serious hits tonight. Oh, elbow drop. More German suplexes, Chris, and a ripcord clothesline as well. Still no word on the missing tag team partners of these prospective teams. German suplex. Oh! Chair getting thrown there. Oh, Chris. Electric chair position. Bob on a German suplex, folding him in half. Near the hundreds of thousands of dollars of backstage equipment back here. Jumping around, jumping over Bob here. All these big men delivering these giant shots back here. What a kick. Oh, this is down. Gonna throw an elbow drop. Oh, there. Irish whip out of camera. Bob getting elbows to the gut. Drop kick. Very expensive equipment they're about to knock over. Oh, there goes Bob. Saved by tripping on his own feet. Oh, my lord. Oh, and a spin out. Torture rack powerbomb. Oh, what a sign here. Flipping off his opponents. Is Chris lifting up. Oh, no. Oh, what a spin out there. I think Bob might be needing some serious, and a backdrop. That leg there might be seriously injured after hitting the wall of that parking lot there. People going left and right, and a stunner from Chris to Bob. This is an unbelievable brawl, but I'm still wondering, where is security? These men are going to be seriously injured. Never mind a main event. We're going to be out of seeing these superstars competing for who knows how much time. Especially Bob being tossed off earlier. Quite a tumble, and Chris Andrews has a match tomorrow. I don't know how he's going to compete at 100%. Lifting him up. Oklahoma position, and he's going to toss him off onto the recycling bin as well. That's got to do damage to the spine. Kicking in the gut. Chris and Bob going back to back, lifting him up in a powerbomb position, and the camera cuts. And the camera cuts to a replay. Security must have finally arrived. And a pile driver to Bob in the replay. Can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. I think the security might just be a tad late. A lot of big shots. We still don't know where Aaron Stone and John Reed are. Hopefully we get updates on that soon. And the F10 replay to Chris from Bob. Will Chris Andrews make it to Climb to Fame tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, we're trying to contain things, ladies and gentlemen. I can't imagine any of these superstars are going to be 100% going into their next bouts. I'm DRH. This has been Octane. I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's been chaos everywhere. Octane, ladies and gentlemen. What an impromptu backstage brawl. Dashing's trying to figure out what's going on. We'll have to get an update and update you guys later on. But for now, this is Octane. See you next time.